Kamut today was discovered in Saqqara near Dashur in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. It was discovered in an urn buried with one of the privileged people of society. I'm not sure that it was a king, but I know that they didn't bury people in pyramids with food for the next life if you weren't very important. And some scientists were studying this, and one of these urns was filled with grain, and the grain had not rotted, had not molded, had not been eaten by rats. It was preserved. And they took this grain that was determined to be over 2,000 to 5,000 years old, and they actually took and they tried to germinate it. And out of that urn, 7 of those kernels germinated. And when studied, this ancient form of wheat, it was discovered, only had 12 chromosome pairs. That's like primordial. That's like a dinosaur, okay? In its ancientness. I mean, all foods today have many more chromosome pairs. So this ancient, simple food had not been consumed on earth for thousands of years, and 7 of these kernels germinated. And we took those 7 kernels and we propagated them until we had an acre. And we took that acre and propagated it until we introduced this ancient food to the world. And it was brought to me, and I was fascinated by this ancient grain. And so I asked the farmers from Montana. It was a Mormon family, and the Mormon church was very interested in food that could be stored for a long period of time. So they were fascinated by this grain that had been stored for thousands of years and still germinated. And so I wanted to get exclusive rights to make wheatgrass out of this ancient grain. And I had to go up to Montana, and I had to live with this family for 10 days, and I had hair longer than I do today. And I was a skinny little vegan, hippied out with my Birkenstocks and my tie-dye t-shirts. I looked like David Scotetti. And I went up there, and they didn't like me the minute they saw me, man. They who is this LA boy? But every day I went and worked with them in the fields, and at night I slept in my truck. I said, I'm not going to sleep in your house until you welcome me into your family. And they thought, wow, they couldn't believe it. The 10th morning, Mrs. Quinn came out, she knocked on my door, she said, we're going to give you exclusive rights to Kamut because we see your heart, we see your soul, and yeah, we don't understand your long hair, we don't understand why you're wearing Birkenstocks when it's 10 below, we don't understand you, but we love you. And so I hope that that'll be the same. I know that I'm not that easy to understand, but I hope that we can learn to love each other because I love you so much that I want to heal you and your family and 10 generations of your family to come.